Football's back this weekend with West Ham United set to travel to the Midlands to face Nottingham Forest. This is now my new local Premier League team from when I lived in England because I lived around 45 minutes away from Nottingham. I've been to the City Ground before. If you're a travelling fan there, it's a great stadium to go to. It's what I'd even consider a dream away day. Just a bit of advice, there's a McDonald's near the stadium, which is absolutely crammed. So if you want to get food, get there early. West Ham's first away game is coming against a newly promoted side, but there is a little bit more incentive into this match for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, West Ham needs to get its first win of the season, as does Nottingham Forest. Both sides lost 2-0 to Manchester City and Newcastle United respectively. Also, the one main talking point for this game is going to be Jesse Lingard. Lingard, who had his heart and mind supposedly set on joining West Ham over the last year, made a huge U-turn and joined Nottingham Forest on a one-year contract. This was because he felt that Forest was going to offer him more money, thus showing a lot of greed and no real interest in playing for West Ham. West Ham fans are planning to react to this through a few chants and even throwing fake money at the player. If West Ham's counter-attacking system scores against Forest, I want them to recreate that band celebration that Lingard and the West Ham players did against Spurs. And that'd be quite funny, actually, if that did happen. I can say that there's a lot of connection between West Ham and Nottingham Forest. It's been roughly 10 years since these two sides last faced each other. It would have been back in the Championship in the 11-12 season. So that is going quite some way back. Forest and West Ham have a few connections. A few players have played for both. Stuart Pearce, of course. Pearce managed Forest. Mikel Antonio, whom played under Pearce at Forest and then joined West Ham in 2015. Sam Byram also played for both clubs. And Chris Cohen, a former West Ham Academy player who had a good time at the City Ground. He played for Forest for quite a few years. Now, what I can tell you about Forest is that it's had a very good summer in terms of its recruitment. It's totally had to rebuild the squad. Brennan Johnson signed a new contract, which was first and foremost the most important thing for that team to do and get his long-term future at the club. But it's also signed a lot of other players. It's signed players such as Lewis O'Brien, Harry Toffolo, Freuler has recently joined, a Swiss international. Jesse Lingard signed as well. Iwani, I think that's how you pronounce his name, the club record striker who's joined from Hertha Berlin. Dean Henderson's joined on loan, and in that time he's had a stab at Manchester United for not playing him enough. Moussa Niakate, a highly rated German international, French international, who played last in Germany and is now at Forest. I think he was on West Ham and Everton's radar briefly. I think he's a quality defender, though, from what I've seen. Joe Worrell's now the club captain, and he was a player linked with West Ham before. A good Championship defender who's going to make a step up to the Premier League. Nico Williams has joined. He made an error in last week's game, so I'm not too sure about him right now. And Emmanuel Dennis and Sheku Kouyaté are set to sign as well. Dennis was linked with West Ham, obviously, and Kouyaté played for West Ham. It's like the whole band's getting back together, really, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? Forest have signed around 13 players, which is quite a lot, but they've needed to do it. And signing players is one thing, but it's how you coach them as well. And they've got a very good manager under Steve Cooper. Cooper joined to replace Chris Hughton last season. By the time he was appointed, Forest was in a dire state. It was in a relegation battle, but he turned the ship around really quickly, brought structure, organisation and discipline into the side, and Forest got promoted through the playoffs. I know that Cooper likes his team to have structure, like I said. He wants his team to have a very clear game plan and to change its game plan if need be. That's one difference between these coaches. Moyes' West Ham doesn't seem to have a plan B. Forest does. Forest does, believe it or not. It plays very attractive football. It likes to play disciplined football. Everybody keeps grounded and doesn't try and go over the top. And it's a big success in the team. Now, of course, signing loads of players really doesn't always mean you're going to improve. And there is a risk that Forest could still be relegated. They're one of the favourite teams to be relegated, of course, not least because they've just come back up. But time will tell. If things pay off, great. But Nottingham Forest fans have waited to see their side back in the Premier League for the last 23 years. I was 2 years old the last time Forest played in the top flight. Since then, the club's had financial issues. It's been relegated to League One. It's had to deal with the death of Nigel Doty. It's had new ownership coming, and now it's got Greek ownership. And it's been a bit of a whirlwind for them over the last 23 years, but they want to be back in the Premier League. Some of the younger generation fans, this will be their first time seeing Forest in this division. And should be quite a memorable season if all goes well. For West Ham, we need to have some changes. I want to finish off by talking about West Ham's changes. I want Scamacca starting. I want Cornet starting. If Cornet doesn't start left wing, start him at left back with Antonio on left wing. And even drop Souček, I think. And putting like Flynn down to Connor Coventry for this game. I would just freshen up the team a bit and throw a few surprises off. Moyes said Maxwell, Cornet and Gianluca Scamacca will be ready. So get him started. Looking forward to Sunday's game, but I am nervous about the result, of course. I don't know what's going to happen. We shall see. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to sub for more content. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all soon.